Hello everyone, my name is Christian. Welcome to my hobby blog. Today I'm excited to be summarizing the last few weeks probably of Spooktober because I missed uploading so much the last few weeks, and I do apologize for that, but I have been watching a lot of spooky movies, a lot of horror films, and also non-horror films just to balance it out and keep the momentum going. I've now watched 25 films this month, and as of filming, we are on October 15th. 14th, I apologize. But I'll just start right off the bat. Day 5 was continuing the All the Haunt set by watching the film called Eyes of Fire, which I believe is disc 2. Yes. So I watched this on day 5, and I really enjoyed it. It's very Lynchian. The atmosphere is great, music is great. It's really spooky, great atmosphere, all that. So I won't be spending too much time kind of summarizing each of these movies because there's a lot to go through, but I do want to just give a sentence or two for each one. So on day 6 was actually the day that I went home for the weekend to my parents' place for my birthday weekend to celebrate it. So what I do every year for my birthday weekend when we celebrate as a family, I like to do a movie marathon for the majority of the Saturday if I can. And I also bring movies for Friday night to watch with my dad. And the movies that we ended up watching were first this film by Visual Vengeance called Bloody Muscle Bodybuilder in Hell, which is the Japanese Evil Dead. It's still amazing. It does slog a bit towards the middle, but for the most part, I really enjoy this movie. If you're a big fan of Evil Dead, you'll at least have fun watching it because it's very similar. It takes place in a Japanese apartment, and that's really the only difference. The dialogue is very similar. The characters are similar, so that was the first movie I saw on day 6 of Spooktober. And then I watched an amazing film that I've talked about before on this channel, did a dedicated review of, but I rewatched this film here on 4K for the first time on physical media. John Wick 4. I know it's not a horror film, but me and my dad both really wanted to watch it. So, and my dad hadn't seen it, so he really enjoyed it, loved it. It's the best movie, in my opinion, of the series and of action in general. It does kind of change from day to day, but John Wick 4 is a legitimately amazing action film. I love it. And then the last film that we saw that night was a film by Lamberto Bava that I've seen many times, and I still love it as much as I ever have, but Demons. And I do have the Synapse Blu-ray, so I don't have the best restoration, I don't have the best audio, but it does have really no special features on this. Wow. So I do need to upgrade this. That's sort of the priority for me. And then we have day 8, or day 6. I'm sorry. Something's out of order. My bad. Okay, so I've talked about Demons. So I have my letterboxed up because I have a lot of movies. But I also saw on Saturday morning, I'm bringing out the Shaw Scope set because I really want to show the artwork for the movie. But I watched the first movie in the set, King Boxer. I have seen all of these films in the set, and I love them all for the most part. Mighty Pecking Man, I don't really like, but everything else is a solid 4 to 5 stars out of 5. But I rewatched King Boxer. As the movie was finishing, I realized it wasn't as amazing as I remembered it, but I really enjoyed. I don't want to say I regret watching it, but I sort of wish I went with Boxers from Shantung, which is a really amazing Shaw Brothers film. And continuing on the day, after King Boxer, I watched the amazing film by Lucio Fulci on 4K, because I hadn't seen it yet in 4K, but I have seen it many times, and it is Zombie. I have the Blue Underground 4K. It's amazing. If you haven't seen it, you're missing out. There's really not too much else to say. Cult classic for a reason. So after I watched Zombie Flesh Eaters, otherwise known as Zombie, in America, we then watched. I'm trying to find it because I have everything kind of scattered, but we watched Tremors next. So here it is. I don't think I've done a review on this, and if I have, I don't remember. But I rewatched this on 4K because I love it. It's one of my favorite movies of all time. It's the ultimate comfort movie for me. We used to rent this from Blockbuster a lot, so I have a lot of nostalgia with this movie, although it is legitimately amazing. So there's really no reason to give it anything below 5 stars, in my opinion. And then we have the final movie, which was a special request by me because me and my dad have been going back and forth most of my life about this movie. And it's one that he had zero interest in watching, which I don't blame him because he is not a fan of these type of horror films. But it was my birthday, and I asked him if he would agree to watch this film with me for my birthday, and he said yes. And so what did we watch? You may notice it's not on the thing behind me. I replaced it, but it is the Texas Chainsaw Massacre Second Sight 4K release. This is one of the greatest releases I've seen. That is such a heavy book right here. This is the book, this is the discs, and the booklet for the postcards, but I'm happy to say that my dad loved it, although he will probably never watch it again, and he's probably haunted by it, because I did not realize how terrifying this movie was for somebody who doesn't really know anything about this movie, because it is a slow burn. Like, watching it with my dad, with somebody who's never seen it, and getting his reactions was a lot of fun for me. I had a lot of fun just trying to guess what his reaction would be to certain moments, like the hitchhiker. Oh God, what's his name? Franklin, the guy in the wheelchair whose uncle is Dennis Hopper from Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2. And his character is just so abrasive, but he's so, like, correct about everything. Like, they shouldn't be at this house. It's just amazing. I love Texas Chainsaw, and it was such a treat to watch it with my dad. So I don't know if he'll ever watch this video, but if you do, thank you for watching. It meant a lot to me. And then that was sort of all of day 7 of Spooktober. I watched 4 films that day. And then I went home on Sunday and popped in my 4K of this film because I got a PS5 for my birthday. So I'm now able to play 4K discs, which is like, that's so amazing to me. So I've been going through all of my 4K only releases and rewatching them because it's been years. This one I watched last Spooktober as part of my birthday marathon, but I watched Deep Red by Dario Argento, 1973, I don't know. 1975, okay, I wasn't too far off. But obviously, this movie is one of the best giallos of all time. There's really not too much to talk about that hasn't already been said about Deep Red. So I watched that on day 8, and then day 9 was a really short day as well, and I had everything, like, set perfectly. So now I need okay, here we go. So the next film that I saw for day 8, or day 9, was one of my favorite 2010s horror films. It just got remastered by Studio Canal, Second Sight. So I watched It Follows. I did not get the limited edition of this, but it looks amazing. Still one of my favorite 2010s horror. A lot of great special features on this, new audio commentaries. It's amazing. I love this movie. If you haven't seen it already, please watch this at least once in your life. It's not the best for everybody. Some people don't like it, but I love it a lot. And then the next day, I watched a new film, which I thought I had seen before, because I'm not a big Brian De Palma fan. Just haven't seen enough of his films, and for years I thought about getting this, but I was like, I've already seen it. I'd rather go see his other films. So I was slowly buying his other films, and I finally went back and bought this one on a Eureka sale, and ends up that I've never even seen it. So this is the film by Brian De Palma, Body Double. Oh my god. This was the first time I'd ever seen it. I thought I had before, but I watched it and nope, I'd never seen it. People are right saying that Brian De Palma is just Hitchcock with sex, or with sexual thrillers. It's basically the sexual, edgy version of Hitchcock's films. And this movie in particular just really went beyond the level that Hitchcock went. And it's just amazing. This movie was amazing. The performance by Craig Rawson, who was the main lead, just was so amazing. Like, I was not expecting to really be invested in this character, but I was invested the entire time. I was hooked. This is probably one of my new favorite Brian De Palma films, Body Double. And then next, I watched a Yugoslavian film from 1973 that was from the All the Haunt set, and that was, I'm trying to get to it, and I apologize if I butchered the name of this, but it's Lepterica, I want to say. I don't have too much to say about this one. I didn't really care for it. It is an interesting film, but it is an hour long, but it feels like an hour and a half. It just really slogs. And it was a little disappointing, but so far on the set, I've really enjoyed two of these films that I'd seen for the first time, and V is on this, which I'll talk about in a second. But on day 11, I then saw one of my classic favorite films of all time, Dawn of the Dead, and of course I have the Second Sight 4K edition. So now that I have a 4K player, I was able to watch this. So I am very thankful that I was able to get one for my birthday. But there's really not too much else to say. I watched the Cannes cut or Cannes cut, and I enjoyed it. Every cut of this film is amazing in my opinion. I prefer the Dario Argento cut, but I mean, they're all amazing. Theatrical, otherwise, everything. So day 12 was actually a double feature day. Actually, no, I lied. So day 12 was just continuing the All the Haunt set with a film called, this was a double disc, so, was Witch Hammer, which was really, really cool. One of the coolest movies in the set so far. And for the most part, it's really fun, atmospheric. It fits along with all the rest of the folk films. But the day after, for day 13 of, or actually no, I logged it at midnight. So technically this is also day 12, so I was right. I did do a double feature day with V and also Witch Hammer. V was a rewatch. I'd seen it before. I do have the standalone Blu-ray edition by Severin. I'm not sure if all of the special features from that release is on this one, because if so, then I should get rid of my Blu-ray so I can make room, because you can probably see in the back, especially my Arrow section, I'm having to stack them horizontally. I don't like that whatsoever. But day 13, yesterday, was Friday. I had taken the entire week off. I probably should have said that sooner, but one of my dear friends came over and we ended up watching all three of the films from this series, at least the main films. And that is Gamera, the Heisei era. And this is one of my favorite kaiju monsters, in my opinion. Maybe even more so than Godzilla, although I know that's, I guess, heresy to say. But I love the monsters in these films. I love Gyaos, who is the bird creature in the first one, and then we have Legion, who is sort of the bug boss of the series, and then we have sort of the perfect specimen that is Iris. And still love these films a lot, but the rating kind of fell a bit on second watch because it's just so familiar at this point. On my first watch, I was blown away by how creative these movies were, and I just really enjoyed them. I may have done a review, I can't remember, but that is really it for today. I have recounted all 13 days or so, maybe eight or 9 days worth of catch up that I've just done, but I do apologize for that. I'll do my best to post more often because I don't really want to do a ton of long videos. So, thank you all so much for watching, and please have a great rest of the day. Like, comment, subscribe, just do all that if you haven't already. Bye.